or get 4 free. There's no limit. 0% financing for 5 full years. Now is the time to prepare for winter. Call Window Nation today or go to windownation.com.
Good morning, America. President Trump one-on-one. A combative new interview overnight saying he doesn't trust some people in his White House, but he does trust Kim Jong-un.
I get along with him really well.
Despite his human rights record.
All these things. I mean, I'm not a baby.
And what he says about the Russia investigation, mocking Brett Kavanaugh's accuser, and why is he calling his defense secretary a Democrat?
This as the crisis deepens over that missing Washington Post columnist, last seen in this surveillance footage, reportedly killed by a Saudi hit squad. Now President Trump vowing, quote, severe punishment if he was murdered. How Saudi Arabia is threatening to retaliate.
The president and first lady heading to the storm zone this morning, touring the devastation as desperation grows. Dozens still missing in that town that was completely wiped out. The race against time to find survivors.
Search for a killer. The mystery after this model crashes into oncoming traffic. Doctors later discovered she'd been shot. Now police poring over this footage for clues.
Breaking royal baby news as Duchess Meghan and Prince Harry touch down in Australia. The big announcement they're expecting, when the Duchess is due, and what the royal family is saying this morning.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And we do say good morning, America. Hope everybody had a great weekend, and it's great to have Cecilia Vega here with us. How about that exciting news?
Hey, who knew? She's pregnant. The Royals just touched down in Australia for a 16-day trip. This footage had some speculating a baby announcement might be coming. You can see Meghan there holding these purple folders. George and I were just asking what that means. Maybe she was trying to hide something.
It means she was holding her folders. That's what it means. We'll get to the bottom of that mystery in a minute, but we begin with the latest from President Trump, continuing his midterm PR blitz with a combative interview sounding off on his defense secretary, his relationship with Putin, and his attacks on Christine Blasey Ford during that contentious Supreme Court battle. Our senior national correspondent, Terry Moran, starts us off from Washington. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, George. All of a sudden, it seems Donald Trump is everywhere, holding forth on the White House lawn in interview after interview, a torrent of words aimed at rallying the Republican troops before those midterm elections. But this interview with 60 Minutes, it was a doozy. With Donald Trump's approval ratings on the rise, the president is taking a victory lap in a fiery new interview.
There has been no administration in the history of our country, and I say this openly and proudly, that in its first 2 years...
modestly.
Well, it's not even that. It's a fact. Tax cuts, regulation cuts, the biggest regulation cuts in history. Nobody's been able to do what I've been able to do. Remember that. When you look at taxes, you look at regulations, you look at making deals with other countries, nobody's been able to do anything like this. Actually, most people didn't even try because they knew they didn't have the ability to do it. But it's a very deceptive world. The other thing I've really learned is I never knew how dishonest the media was. I really mean it. I'm not saying that as a soundbite. I never knew how dishonest.
I'm going to change the subject again.
Well, no, but even the way you asked me a question, like about separation.
Yeah.
When I say Obama did it, you don't want to talk about it.
No, I disagree, but I don't want to have that fight with you.
Hey,
it's
okay.
We're going to have another fight with you.
Leslie, it's okay. In the meantime, I'm president and you're not.
But President Trump's approach on other issues has come at a cost, dividing the country.
How did you get home? I don't remember. How'd you get there? I don't remember. Where is the place? I don't remember.
Including his mocking of Christine Blasey Ford just days before Justice Brett Kavanaugh was confirmed.
Had I not made that speech, we would not have won. I was just saying she didn't seem to know anything.
Do you think you treated her with great respect?
I think so, yeah, I did.
But you seem to be saying that she lied.
You know what? I'm not going to get into it because we won. It doesn't matter.
Well,
we won.
The wide-ranging conversation turned to his lack of trust for some in his own administration, but his positive feelings for world leaders like Kim Jong-un.
I get along with him really well. I have a good energy with him. I have a good chemistry with him. Look at the horrible threats that were made. No more threats. No more threats.
He presides over a cruel kingdom of repression, gulags, starvation, reports that he had his half-brother assassinated, slave labor, public executions. This is a guy you love.
I know all these things. I mean, I'm not a baby. I know all these
but
things.
why do you love that guy?
Look. I get along with him, okay?
The president also addressed his relationship with Vladimir Putin.
I think I'm very tough with him personally. I had a meeting with him, the two of us.
Yeah.
It was a very tough meeting, and it was a very good meeting.
Do you agree that Vladimir Putin is involved in assassinations, in poisonings?
Probably he is, yeah, probably. I mean, I don't...
Probably?
Probably, but I rely on them. It's not in our country.
Okay.
And as far as the Russian attack on the 2016 election,
They meddled, but I think China meddled too. China
This is
a
amazing.
bigger problem.
You're diverting the whole Russian
I'm
thing.
not doing
You are,
anything.
you
I'm
are.
saying Russia, but I'm also saying China.
and as the Mueller investigation grinds on, the president won't say if he will shut down the probe.
I don't pledge anything, but I will tell you, I have no intention of doing that. I think it's a very unfair investigation because there was no collusion of any kind.
Calling the investigation a witch hunt.
Do you really think I'd call Russia to help me with an election? Give me a break. They wouldn't be able to help me at all. Call Russia. It's so ridiculous.
And with reports of chaos in the West Wing, President Trump acknowledges he's not completely thrilled with his current cabinet lineup. Asked if Defense Secretary James Mattis might be the next official to leave.
I don't know. He hasn't told me that.
You
I have
want
a
him
very
to
good
leave?
relationship with him. It could be that he is. I think he's sort of a Democrat, if you want to know the truth. But General Mattis is a good guy. We get along very well. He may leave. I mean, at some point, everybody leaves. Everybody. People leave. That's Washington.
In Trump's Washington, they leave with a little more frequency. But as you see there, this is a president who right now in Washington and out on the campaign trails firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, he is ready for battle, Terry. In the meantime, he was also pressed on climate change in the wake of that dire UN report last week.
He was, and that's interesting. He once called climate change a hoax perpetrated by the Chinese. He now accepts that it's happening, but he says he's not sure it's caused by man-made emissions. He doesn't want to do anything that might harm the U.S. economy to abate it, and he says it might reverse itself of its own accord.
So he's not going to do anything about it. Okay, Terry Moran, thanks very much. Robin?
And George, as you know, in that interview, President Trump also addressed the deepening crisis over that missing Washington Post columnist who vanished nearly 2 weeks ago. Turkish reports claim he was killed by a Saudi hit squad. President Trump vows there will be, quote, severe punishment if that is confirmed. Our senior foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, is there on the scene in Turkey with the latest. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. We're outside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, where Jamal Khashoggi, the Washington Post reporter, went missing 13 days ago now. We're told that there was a key conversation last night between the Saudi king and the Turkish president, agreeing to work together on an investigation. And we just heard in the last 2 hours that perhaps Turkish investigators will be allowed into the consulate today to carry out a thorough investigation into what really happened. Turkish security sources claim they have taped evidence that the Post reporter was held, interrogated and killed by Saudi operatives, last seen here walking into the Saudi consulate 13 days ago. This mystery growing amid Turkish claims a squad of Saudis landed here the day the reporter vanished, checking into this hotel just a few hundred yards from the consulate. Their vans then seen outside the back as Khashoggi entered the front. They departed the country the same day. Under pressure to respond to Khashoggi's disappearance and alleged murder, President Trump now taking a tougher stance in that interview with CBS News.
There's something really terrible and disgusting about that if that were the case. So we're going to have to see. We're going to get to the bottom of it, and there will be severe punishment.
The Saudi government has repeatedly denied any involvement, but has now escalated a war of words in a statement saying if it receives any action, it will respond with greater action. Issuing this threat, the kingdom's economy has an influential and vital role in the global economy. A reference to Saudi oil and its influence on gas prices. Overnight, more giant companies pulling out of an upcoming Saudi investment conference. So far, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin hasn't cancelled his plans to attend. Larry Kudlow, director of the U.S. National Economic Council, telling George,
Mr. Mnuchin will make up his mind as the week progresses and as new information surfaces.
So, no easing of the pressure on the Saudi government from any side at the moment. And despite that earlier belligerent statement, it was interesting that the Saudi ambassador to Washington appeared to row back late into the evening yesterday, issuing a statement essentially thanking the administration for not jumping to conclusions so far. But still, far more questions than answers in this case. Robin?
So many more questions.
Yeah,
Ian.
and there's a lot more pressure on the Saudis today because a lot of major business leaders are now pulling out of that investor conference that Steve Mnuchin so far is still going to.
We'll see what happens with that. President Trump and the First Lady are heading to the storm zone this morning to see the devastation from Hurricane Michael firsthand. Here's what we know right now. At least 18 people were killed. Dozens are still missing, and hundreds of thousands of customers remain without power. ABC's Rob Marciano has been on the ground since the very beginning. He's got the latest from Panama City. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, Cecilia. Here we are, day 5 now of the Hurricane Michael aftermath, and quite frankly, scenes like you see behind me across Panama City will look the same 50 days from now. The destruction is so expansive, thousands of homes destroyed. But look at this, commercial properties, hundreds of them like this one made out of brick, completely flattened. That's a highway sign that came flying off its pole 50 yards behind camera, like a giant tornado went through here or a bomb. And the toll that it's taken on the people that live here is really still difficult to put into words. This morning, parts of the Florida Panhandle likened to a war zone as the search for the dozens of unaccounted intensifies. One family learning of the fate of their relatives when looking online at an interactive map, finding this, the word help spelled out with timber.
I contacted emergency services and they went out there to do a welfare check.
Some residents visibly frustrated, feeling no hope is on the horizon.
It's been very traumatic. I can't hardly eat and I can't hardly sleep. It's unthinkable.
Michael left thousands homeless. The big problem? Basic communication. Text alerts go out letting people know where they can find food and water, but many without cell service or power to charge their phones. Cars here lining up outside a FEMA distribution point. Army soldiers giving out cases of water and other supplies.
People have been smiling, some people are even crying, that they're getting some help and that people are out here to actually help them.
Nearly 300 people in Mexico Beach listed as not evacuating. Now, 46 are considered missing. ABC's Will Carr is in Mexico Beach.
Crews have pushed into this marshland. They're looking at cars and boats, and when they clear those, they smack those green stickers on them as they continue to look for the people who are missing.
One power company promising to have 95% of its customers back online in less than 10 days.
This is game day. This is the Super Bowl. You think about all the things we had, subtropical storm Alberto, tropical storm Gordon, those were all training grounds for us this year.
And these guys are working their tails off to meet that goal. The issue is you need a proper building to hook that power up to. So a lot of folks are going to have to make repairs to their homes in order to accept that power once it gets back online. And that includes the schools, Robin, all of which in Bay County are closed until further notice.
All right, Rob. And Ginger is just back from the storm zone following her reporting from Mexico City. And Ginger, I couldn't help but watch you as you were watching Rob and his report. You were there when the storm made landfall. How was this different than any storm you've ever covered in the past, Ginger?
The damage, Robin, looked so much like when I was in Katrina in Gulfport, Mississippi. It looked so similar what happened afterward, but the storms are all unique, and that is something to remember. Even as a person who is so experienced in chasing storms, as this thing made its way up, it had a steering factor, which Florence and Harvey didn't have, so it was moving quickly. Wind shear didn't even have a chance to cut it down. That's how fast it was. So when that eye wall came on shore, we were in Mexico Beach. We were in the eye wall for just over an hour, and that's where you get that type of damage. One of our storm chasers I actually saw driving, and I thought, who could that possibly be? Not what you want to do. You can see the building we survived in on the left. This is what it looked like after the debris here, but not one window, not one door was shattered in our building. It was made for a hurricane, and boy, did it last. Everybody?
I was just with family, Ginger, and we said the same thing. So much like Katrina. The aftermath looks so much like Katrina there.
Oh, the way the sand covered the road, the ocean had come up so far. I anticipate we'll hear from a 14 or 15-foot storm surge where we were.
All right.
Wow.
Thanks, Ginger.
We are going to move on now to that murder mystery in Georgia, where an aspiring young model crashed her car. Then when she was brought to the hospital, doctors discovered she'd been shot in the neck. Police now analyzing this surveillance video for clues. ABC's Steve Osunsami has the latest.
We just have so many unanswered questions.
Kelsey Quayle had moved from California to Atlanta to pursue a modeling career. And this morning, her family wants someone to explain how and why she was killed.
Please come forward and please let us know if anybody saw anything. I just want to know who did this. It's ridiculous. She didn't deserve this.
The 28-year-old was killed after she was shot in the neck last Monday while driving south of Atlanta. Police believe the gunshot wound caused her to crash her car. No one even knew she'd been shot until she got to the hospital. Surveillance video from a gas station near the crash shows several angles but does not show the shooting. Just moments before police say Quayle's Mazda came to a stop, you see her steering into oncoming traffic before crashing into two other cars.
She was the sweetest person, and it just doesn't make sense.
It seems to us to be random at this time. We have not been advised of any information or reference to anybody shooting in the area.
Right now, investigators believe that this was a random shooting and say she wasn't even targeted, it doesn't look like. They're looking to talk with anyone who was driving that night, Robin, who may have seen something before the crash.
And hopefully somebody will come forward with some news there. All right, Steve, thank you very much. We do have some good news to share with you this morning. Royal baby news. Duchess Meghan and Prince Harry have just announced that they are expecting their first child. James Logman is traveling with the royals in Australia and has more details. Good morning, James.
Good morning, Robin. That's right. Barely a few hours here in Australia and already bombshell royal news. Duchess Meghan is expecting a child and everyone here is delighted. It's the news the world was waiting for. Duchess Meghan, seen here today in Australia, clutching a binder in front of her, is pregnant. This morning, Kensington Palace announcing the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will welcome a child in the spring. The couple breaking the news to family and friends at Harry's cousin Eugenie's wedding this weekend, where eyebrows were raised when Meghan wore this blue coat and never seemed to take it off throughout the proceedings. The Queen, William, Kate and Prince Charles all able to congratulate them in person before they flew off to Australia for the start of their first overseas tour. Meghan's mother, Doria, adding her congratulations, said to be delighted and excited to welcome her first grandchild. The royal couple, married in May, were asked about their plans for children during their engagement interview with the BBC.
Not currently, no. No, of course, you know, I think, you know, one step at a time, and hopefully we'll start a family in the near future.
And of course, a new royal generation expands. Princes George and Louis and Princess Charlotte excited to have a new playmate who'll now be 7th in line for the throne. The announcement at the beginning of their Commonwealth tour, a touching parallel to Charles and Diana's first trip here more than 25 years ago with William. And then William brought his young family here 4 years ago, where George wowed the crowds. Now, there is some concern because Zika virus has been found on the Pacific Islands, and generally doctors say pregnant women shouldn't visit there, but the palace says this tour will go ahead as planned. This baby news is only going to add to the euphoria here down under. Guys?
Certainly will. Thank you, James.
We're all very excited for them. Let's turn back to Ginger, though, with a new storm bringing heavy snow and heavy rain. I can't even say it, Ginger. I'm not ready for it.
It feels wrong, doesn't it? But it is not wrong. In Denver, Colorado, that blowing snow and actually nearly 60,000 people at the peak of the storm in Nebraska were out of power. That's the type of snow and cold we're talking about. But it's a powerful front that to the south is going to not just bring even cooler weather, but flood. Flash flooding possible in some areas. You could see up to ½ a foot of rain. And then up in the northeast here, if you've got flights yet tonight, you're going to want to watch out for this. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, the Select Cities, sponsored by CarMax.
What does it take to work at CarMax? That's a great question.
If you'd stop in a monsoon to help someone change a tire, save a whale that had beached itself,
You're gonna be okay, big guy. Push!
lend a hand in an old-timey barn raising. And if the middle school dance group was down to one member and you'd step in and lead them all the way to glory,
Then CarMax is for you, because helping people is what our people are all about.
A little on and off wet weather expected today, so keep that umbrella handy. Temperatures today will move very quickly from the 60s to the lower 70s by afternoon, and then 70 degrees for your evening. Still some on and off showers. Bigger story is the cold. Yes, we're using the word cold for the end of the work week. Your Thursday morning, even your Sunday morning, temperatures are going to be starting out in the 30s across the area. And look at these high temperatures. Thursday's high with sunshine, 56, feeling more like November, and again on Sunday with sunshine.
Cecilia, you said you can't even say it. Guess who can? Clayton's son. Loving the snow. That's Clayton Sendo from ABC here.
They're ready for it. I'm not.
Coming up, Hillary Clinton under fire for what she said about Monica Lewinsky and her relationship with President Clinton. The backlash this morning.
And the woman now being called Cornerstone, Carolyn, accusing a child of groping her. what the surveillance video actually reveals.